Hello everyone, this is New, and today I'm gonna present my first work in progress, Project Folk Wisdom AR, done in Magi Studio 3 with Dr. Chris Barker, Kate Colley, and Moon Huang. So to begin with the presentation, I want to reintroduce myself. I consider myself a designer and researcher, and I'm passionate about creating immersive culture explore experiences to investigate the evolving relationships between cultures, 3D technologies, and humanity. In the past two projects, I have created two AR projects, namely Bánh AR and Moonlight AR. Both investigate how traditions and festivals can evolve with 3D AR technologies. And for this major project, the third project, I want to further explore the relationship, in particular, cultural heritage, digitization, and gamification in AR experience to promote active cultural engagement and learning. So this is my structure for the presentation. First, I'm going to talk about my rationale, the timeline of the project, the process, including research, concept development, design development, and the next steps. First of all, I'll talk about my project Enquiry and significance. So to start off, I want to ask, how can cultural heritage evolve with 3D augmented reality technologies? This research project has the potential to make a significant contribution to the preservation and promotion of traditional Vietnamese folk art by creating an interactive AR experience that showcases Dom Ho paintings, which I will explain later, and its cultural significance. The project aims to renew interest and appreciation for cultural heritage through active participation and learning. This project also offers a framework for using 3D augmented reality technologies to preserve and promote fading cultural heritage, providing a new approach for cultural education that is both interactive and educational. This is my Folio plan. First is Rationale. Traditional Vietnamese folk art, such as Dom Ho painting, is at risk of fading away due to lack of interest and appreciation. This project proposes a mobile experience that utilizes AR to create an interactive and engaging way to learn about the cultural significance of folk wisdom and traditional values. By digitizing and gamifying traditional Vietnamese folk art, the project aims to renew interest in cultural heritage. The context, the background, the field of my work. There are various augmented reality projects that utilize gamification and storytelling to enrich cultural heritage education, include Time Tremors, a mobile game aimed at teaching history to children, Secrets of the Empire, an immersive storytelling experience that takes visitors on a journey through different historical eras, and Archive, a project that utilizes AR to bring historical artifacts to life. By utilizing AR technology, these projects showcase the potential to make cultural heritage more accessible and engaging to a broader audience. For the methods, it requires a combination of technical skills, creative vision, and cultural knowledge, and is conducted based on the foundation of reflective and emergent practice. First, myself, as the practitioner, must conduct an extensive examination and classification of cultural artifacts. Then, I must develop a consistent and unique visual style for user interface graphics, 3D assets, including modeling, animation, texturing. I need to collaborate with the developer for programming and iterative app prototyping. Then conduct playtesting to make adjustments to feedback. Project challenge lies in the ability to create an engaging and playful storytelling experience while incorporating cultural educational elements. For the production, I'll divide into 3 phases. The first phase will be mainly my engagement with the cultural heritage through local and cultural history research, interactivity design, brainstorming, initial visual development, early 3D iterations, and a proof of concept prototype. It will also include reflective journal to document this process. For the second phase, I'll start refine graphics and visual elements of the app, complete all 3D assets, involve in iterative app developments and prototypes, doing sound design, and of course reflective journal as well. The third phase will mainly be playtesting and documenting user feedback. Then, hopefully, I can showcase this to the public and the community, develop promotional materials and marketing, distribution strategies, and then final reflective journal video, a video essay for the summary of the project. This is the timeline that explains the production phase that I've just mentioned. The highlight will be a proof of concept prototype in week 4, a finalized prototype in week 12. The process includes research, design, develop, and iterate. It will be a looping process. First, for my research, some research topics to explore. So far, the summary of my research findings. Đồng hồ painting is a traditional Vietnamese folk art with deep cultural significance. It often depicts scenes from folk tales and legends and is used to celebrate important events. Made from unique materials and techniques, these paintings have a rustic and simplistic style, characterized by bold lines and flat colors. Unfortunately, the practice of đồng hồ painting is in danger of dying out due to a lack of interest from younger generations. However, there are still artists who continue to practice this art form, and efforts are being made to preserve and promote it. In contemporary Vietnamese art and culture, it has a unique role to play. It provides a window into the rich history and traditions of Vietnam and is a reminder of the importance of preserving cultural heritage. Đồng hồ paintings are known for their vibrant colors, intricate designs, and depictions of everyday life. But what makes it unique is a symbolic meaning behind the animals and characters in the paintings. These animals usually represent the ancestors' wisdom, hope, and aspirations in life, and usually carry deeper layers of meanings beneath the surface of the depiction. Next is my design process. First, I'll talk about how I developed the concept for the project. If I can summarize it, it would be this sentence. Curious folklore animals escape from their paintings to venture into the human world. Players need to catch the animals and bring them back to their paintings before they all fade away. While catching animals, players will reflect on their own values, learn about their underlying folklore wisdom and cultural meaning behind each painting. The end goal for the game is for players to realize a deeper connection to their culture and heritage. Or, if they're not from Vietnamese culture, they can see a traditional Vietnamese paintings in a new light. The audience for the project can be children who wants to learn about đồng hồ creatures, for tourists who visit Vietnam and Đồng hồ village to learn about the history and culture of the area, for art enthusiasts to learn about the intricate details of đồng hồ paintings, for educators to use in classrooms through interactive AR activities, for the seniors to reminisce about traditional Vietnamese culture and to share their knowledge and wisdom with younger generations, for families to enjoy together while engaging with the playful đồng hồ creatures. For researchers and academics, they can study the history and significance of these paintings. For current artists and other artists, they can use this app to explore the traditional techniques used in this painting and to inspire new artistic creations. For history enthusiasts to explore the history and culture of đồng hồ and to learn about the traditional values and wisdom that are still relevant in today's society. These are some of the key ideas that I have brainstormed. The key considerations would be developing an AR experience that brings đồng hồ creatures to life in the real world, enables users to interact with traditional đồng hồ creatures such as the rooster, dragon, or buffalo, utilizing 3D to showcase the intricate details, vibrant colors of đồng hồ creatures in a way that is not achievable with traditional 2D representations, and present evolution of đồng hồ creatures over time, from their origins to contemporary interpretations. And the last important thing is to incorporate educational elements into the AR experience. There are many directions. The first idea is to create like an AR gallery application that allows users to select which creatures they want to interact with, similar to AR Art Trail that we see at NGV and Acme in 2022 last year. It will be a simple and easy to use application, but the problem might not be too engaging for the players because it lacks storytelling elements, which is the next idea. You can use AR to produce immersive storytelling experience that retells traditional folk tales and explain the wisdom of each painting. The most similar project that I've been using this method is Moonlight AR. Benefits is I've already developed this experience before, use the same template and structure, but then I also find out that users tend to lose attention really quickly if the stories go on too long. If I use the same method in this project, this is the challenge that I need to tackle and consider when designing. The third direction can be a multiplayer AR game that multiplayers collecting and battling with each other while learning the wisdom and strength of their animals. It's similar to Pokemon Go AR in some way. It promotes togetherness, being together to play, and it's very engaging. But for now, it might be too hard for me to work with my developer to develop this experience. Fourth idea is to collaborate with real local domho artists to create original AR content that displays a unique style and techniques and show respects to the creators, the people who actually have been preserving this art. But right now, because I'm based in Melbourne, it is not possible, but it will be something I'll consider in the future when I come back to Vietnam and can continue this project. The fifth idea is really interesting, which is craftsmanship. It will enable users to craft and embellish their own domho creatures in this experience using traditional techniques and materials. This approach will preserve this type of paintings and cultural elements through active participation. The last direction is wisdom education, which prompts users to think about the ancient wisdoms and traditional values when applied in a modern context. So it'll be asking questions and make users think about the answers and reflect on their own values. I like to think of this as an active learning way, and it will spark a lot of interesting discourse about modern and traditional values. And that will be my challenge, to design a good system and think of the good questions to be able to achieve that. This is my flowchart for the AR experience. First, the user launched the app and click begin. Then there's a question that's popped up and asks, what year were you born? You type in the year and the app will tell you which zodiac animal you are. And then it'll show you the domho painting that has that animal. At the same time, you go into an AR setup phase when the domho paintings appears on your screen. The app will instruct you to place the painting on the nearest wall, and you'll find a blank wall or like a table, a surface to be able to place the painting on it. Then you tap to place the painting, and then the app will tell you to find the missing animals in this painting, or it will fade in 5 minutes. And you have a UI element which is a time bar that starts running. Then the animals in the painting starts fading. Now it's your time to go and search for the correct animals to put back to the paintings. The animals will appear randomly in your world. You start searching. When you come closer to the target animal that you think is right, you can tap that animal, and if it's the correct animal, you will start hearing wisdom stories about that animal and that painting. But then if you tap an incorrect animal, there'll be some fun things. Animals will act weirdly, and that will be the result of it being in a modern context. So if you tap the correct animals and you hear the wisdom story, then you can hold your finger on the screen and drag them back to the painting that you have placed on the wall. Once the correct animals return to their paintings, the painting will become vibrant and bright again. And then you earn a wisdom badge that represents the value that the animal holds. If you tap the incorrect animal and you run out of time as well, and the painting has faded, then the app will tell you that you missed saving this painting, but don't worry, you still have other chances to save other paintings. And then you can continue the experience over and over again until you complete all the paintings. And then at the end, the app will tell you how many out of 12 wisdom badges that you have earned. The other thing is, before you start searching for the next animals, the app will ask you some questions that make you think about some values in life that you care about. And then you can either answer it or not. But at the end, after you complete your mission and earn all of the wisdom badges, the app will have some review and will tell you, based on your answers, the ancient wisdom value that you are still holding on in this modern world. So for some, you're still holding on to being close to like family, being wealthy, or being hardworking, but for some, their values will be different. Then users can have the chance to reflect about their answers and lessons after they've done playing with the app. But then also I'll incorporate some social media feature like some AR face filter, when you can have some AR animals miniatures or some animal face filter to try on, and then you can capture and share to social media and encourage other people to also join this experience. So that is my current flowchart. I have also comprised an animal assets list that consists of zodiac animals, and those animals are also presented in Domho paintings. The first zodiac animal is rat, and we have this rat wedding Domho painting that symbolizes reproduction because it's a wedding ceremony. But then they also carry some underlying meaning about life and death as the rule of nature, because one of the trumpet that the rat is holding is actually used in funeral. This is some really interesting that I found when researching for this painting. The next painting is Water Buffalo and the Boy. It tries to communicate the ideas that for young people, it's good to be hardworking. Like, you still go on the farm to help your parents, but then you're also studious because you still find chances to study whenever and wherever you can, even when you're working. So it kind of like complements in these traits that young people should have. The next painting is Tiger. We have this 5 tigers painting, which stand for good energy and guarding the place, the temple, the houses from ghosts and bad spirits. We have the cat appears again in the same rat weddings painting. In this painting, the cat stands for the ruling class in old society, and you can see the rat is actually bringing goods to the cat. This criticizes corruption and bribery back in the days. For the dragon paintings, this is the dragon dance, and in Vietnamese ancient culture, dragon stands for god of rain, and this shows the farmer's desire for timely rains and favorable weather, hence having good crops and prosperity. We have the snake paintings, which doesn't have the snakes, but having children doing this game called Snake Dragon Ascent Above the Clouds. So this is a childhood game that every Vietnamese kid born in the 90s and earlier would have played. It's really fun and it requires group cooperation. The horse painting is based on a Vietnamese mythical folk hero, and it stands for the values of patriotism and youthful vigor. The goat paintings depicts a day-to-day activity. This is a game that requires you to cover the eyes to catch the goats. Doesn't only just depict this activity, it also represents the desire for our ancestors to mate male and female, because when you're holding your eyes, you may not catch the goat, but you may catch the opposite gender. So for the monkey, it's Domho paintings actually doesn't have monkey as like a character back in the days. But in 2016, an emergent artist, she's an actual Domho painter, she creates this new painting called Monkeys and Peaches as like a continuous form of creation and preservation, which actually sparks interesting discussion. What if we keep preserving, we keep using the old paintings, but we don't actually create new things? Is that good? Or is that actually making the cultural art form dying out sooner? Yeah, I think it's a really interesting topic. And then next we have the rooster in the zodiac list. This painting is roosters and roses, and the rooster back in the day stands for 5 virtues of a warrior: literature, martial arts, bravery, humanness, and credibility. For the dog paintings, we actually don't have a Domho painting, but a few years ago, an emergent artist inspired by Nghe, a mythical animal in Vietnamese culture, which is a combination of unicorn and dog, and often used as a mascot in front of communal temples, pagodas, and shrines in Vietnam. She learns the techniques of this folk called Kim Hoang painting, and she creates a new painting similar to the monkeys painting that I just discussed. And the last animal in the zodiac list is the pig. This painting is the drift of pigs, and you can see the yin yang represents harmony, and the little pigs represents reproduction, abundance, and prosperity. The next steps of my project will be moving on to visual direction and doing some early 3D iterations. I will do some mood boards and pick colors, textures, and patterns. I'll do a first 3D model and texture that model in substance according to this timeline that I introduced earlier. So thank you for listening to this presentation, and I'll see you in the next one.